I'm Kevin Kvasnica, fourth year at Cleveland State, and I'm a political science and Spanish double major.
I'm Sydney Che. I'm a promotional communication major at Cleveland State University.
I'm Holly. I'm a sophomore at Cleveland State University, and I'm studying journalism.
My name is Elizabeth Weems, and I am a junior at Cleveland State, majoring in journalism and promotional communications.
So, some older generations think that if one day all internet connections and social media disappeared, we wouldn't know what to do, like our generation. Do you agree with that?
I mean, yes and no. I know that, a few generations before us, like our parents kind of had social media a little bit. Not as early on as we did, obviously, but they're still on Facebook right now, and I feel like they could probably live without it, and I think it evolves as you get older. Like, I don't think I'm going to be 40 and on Twitter, like, thinking about all the things that are happening. So I guess it's just kind of like a pastime in a sense, but I don't know if we'd absolutely fall apart. It would probably be a little... I mean, maybe we would fall apart. We would be a little like, oh my god, no social media. But then eventually, it's like, ritual. Like, you get over it eventually, and then as long as it's not a part of like your daily life anymore, you're like slowly weeding it out. I don't think we'd fall apart without it though.
In any way?
I don't, because one, the likelihood of that happening is almost zero. And if it were to happen, we have enough problem-solving capabilities that it translates into the real world as much as it does to, the electronic world.
So when you grow up in an era when you're bombarded by and inundated by social media and communicative technology, I think that if you take that away, there definitely is kind of this immediate onset of panic. How do we contact people? How do I know when the next party is going on? How do I do anything? How do I communicate with people? But we've only had something that we forget constantly is that we've only had access to social media for, fewer than 2 decades. So I think that eventually, and what needs to happen and what might even happen, is that people will start to regress back to those old habits of communicating and being in touch and, sharing their compassion and empathy for one another. So I think that initially we would have that immediate sense of panic and, freaking out about not knowing what to do and how to do things. But we will find ways to cope, and I think it's only to our advantage to get back in touch with those, pre-social media roots.
In a way, yes. I think that a lot of us are losing our skill in talking to someone in person because it is so much easier to send a text rather than pick up the phone or call or just make plans to meet with someone. And so I think our communication would go downhill and people would just kind of be confused and not really know how to fill their free time, because I feel like a lot of times when people are doing nothing in general, they pick up their phone and they start scrolling on Twitter, or they go to Instagram and Facebook, and I would agree, I do that all the time. So I think that would be something that we would struggle with, but I don't think that it would just be the end of us completely. It's not going to be our demise. I think it's a learned behavior, and if you can learn it, you can unlearn it too.